Greetings to all of our viewers at home and abroad, and welcome to the National Council for Senior Citizens and the Ministry of Health and Wellness Seniors Wellness Webinar. Now, it's very, very different, and I must say that, yes, it's been a very strange time and a very strange year, but of course, we had to be here to put a wrap on Senior Citizens Week. And the theme was advancing the health and well-being of older persons amid COVID-19. I'm your host, Rosie Murray, and we're going to be going through for the next 2 hours. And with a number of items, which I'm sure will hold your attention and will also get you moving, all right? So we have physical fitness. We're going to be looking at nutrition. We're going to be looking at protection for older persons under COVID-19. We're also going to be looking at what happens with our minds, protecting our mental health. Some health questions and concerns, and we have a little bit of fun for you with some brain teasers and solve the riddle and stuff like that, and the social buzz coming up later on. So here we are. It's good to have you wherever you are. Welcome, and just stay locked to us as we come to you live from the Jamaica Pegasus for the Seniors Wellness Webinar. Of course, before we get into any of the events, we must have a little blessing, okay? And so we invite Miss Adeline Smith, Seniors Public Speaking Competition winner for 2020, to bless us.
Good morning. Let us pray. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we give you the thanks this morning for all the blessings of life. We thank you for your watch care over us. We thank you for safe passage for all the persons who are participating in this webinar this morning to this present location. We thank you for the organizers. We thank you for the recognition that is given to our senior citizens. As we come this morning, we want to thank you too for the collaboration between the Ministry of Labor and Social Security and Health and Wellness. We place before you this morning all our presenters. We ask your blessings on the speakers and on the speaking. We pray for our MC. We pray that you will give her wit and wisdom to guide the proceedings. We place all the presenters before you and ask that there be clarity of speech so that each one can hear easily. We pray for the hearers and the hearing. We pray that you'll open our ears and our hearts clearly. May we understand what is said and help that at the end of this presentation, at the end of this proceeding, we'll be able to make wise decisions as it relates to our health and the practices that we need to put in place. We pray for the technical team as well, for the producers and the production. We pray that everything will go well, all the equipment will work. We pray that the internet will continue to remain strong so that the band will be able to go across the length and breadth of not just Jamaica, but throughout the world in cyberspace. We thank you and we praise you, and we ask that your presence will continue to be with each one at the location. We pray for all who will watch and who will listen. We pray that the presentations will be meaningful, and we thank you that the leadership team has decided to highlight the needs of our seniors, especially in the area of health. We pray for optimal health and wellness for all our people, especially our seniors, at all times. And in this time of COVID, we ask that you will help each one because we know that we're more susceptible. We pray that you'll help us to be on our guard, to practice all the protocols and to eat properly and do our exercises. Keep each one safe. Take full control of the proceedings. May all go well, and at the end, may we all be blessed. We thank you for hearing. We thank you for answering. As we say, ask it all in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Amen.
Amen and amen. Yes, indeed. We really did need those prayers to ensure that all will be well for the next 2 hours. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Rosie Murray, and I'll be your host to guide you through the next 2 hours. But to give us the official welcome, I ask the Director of Health Promotion and Education at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Mr. Keith Foga, to do the official welcome.
Thank you, Rosie. Happy International Day of the Older Persons. Welcome, everybody. We commemorate and celebrate our seniors today. The Ministry of Health and Wellness and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, through its agency, the National Council of Senior Citizens, takes it a pleasure and a privilege to host this wellness forum for you today, just for you. We have exciting presentations coming up for you: physical activity, nutrition, mental health, COVID prevention tips. We have some expert persons who will speak to you in all those areas. So we are here to equip, to educate, to empower you, and we want you to enjoy yourself while you are getting all this information. So please relax, enjoy for the next 2 hours that we spend here with you. And we welcome those who may not be so older, but they're here as supporters, as friends, to my colleagues as well from Ministry of Health and Wellness and Ministry of Labor and Social Security. We welcome you and thank you for watching. So enjoy, please feel welcome. Today will be a special day just for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Foga. I'm telling you, different times, what is now the new normal? But guess what is normal? Physical activity is normal and something that we definitely encourage. And so we're going to be getting physical as we get into a workout session for, let's just say, our senior citizens with some Jamaican moves. And we'll see just who is up to it as we get into the physical activity video. Here we go.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Leanne Steele, and today we're going to be talking about physical activity. So first off, what is physical activity? So physical activity is any movement that allows the body to use up energy. This includes walking, running, and dancing. Let's talk about some benefits of physical activity. Physical activity improves concentration, mental health, posture and balance, body tone, as well as reduces stress. Physical activity maintains stronger heart, bones, and muscles, as well as increases physical health. Also, physical activity reduces the risk of getting non-communicable diseases like hypertension and diabetes.
And so we welcome Dr. Simone Spence, Director of Health Promotion and Protection at the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Let's get physical, Dr. Spence.
Morning, everyone, and thank you so much, our able host. I know this is a new dimension for a lot of us. You know, it feels a little weird not to have an actual physical audience interacting with and engaging with at this time. But as usual, especially in health, we know how to roll with the punches and to adapt to our new circumstances. And it really is indeed a pleasure for me representing the Ministry of Health and Wellness at this very important health and wellness webinar for our older persons. And especially, you know, introducing and launching our physical activity video for seniors. So we all recognize that physical activity plays a very critical role as a protective and preventive factor for health and well-being, and is critical in the management and reduction of non-communicable diseases. It can reduce global mortality by at least 6%, ischemic heart disease by 30%, diabetes by 27%, breast and colon cancer anywhere between 21 to 25%. It also helps to delay the onset of dementia, and it improves mental health. And we do recognize that there are many persons at this time worrying, having anxiety and stress, especially in regards to COVID-19. And our experts in this area will later tell all of us about ways you can cope, and one way is to do regular physical activity. It also helps to improve the quality of life. One of the ways to build up your immune system is by doing physical activity, which can help you in fighting off viruses, and even so the virus that causes COVID-19. The ministry really wants to commend the individuals who have taken their health seriously and found creative ways to engage in regular physical activity. We also want to applaud the National Council on Senior Citizens for the tremendous efforts they make on a yearly basis to plan and implement various physical activity initiatives as a part of their comprehensive program for older persons. The launch of this physical activity video we're about to see is a testament to the commitment of the Ministry of Health and Wellness has made to work closely with the National Council for Senior Citizens to facilitate and create a supportive environment for the older population in our country to engage in this very important activity, getting physical. As you will see in the video, we could not have done it without the leadership and field team of the National Council of Senior Citizens and the participation of many of our colleagues across the island. We also want to thank our health promotion teams in the parishes who helped to make this video a reality, and commend them for maintaining a relationship with senior citizens associations across Jamaica to ensure that together we help to safeguard the health of you, our vulnerable but very, very valuable group of older persons. This project started at the end of last year when the requests kept coming into us to have a video to support the booklet regarding physical activity for the older person, which was launched last year, September. Despite COVID-19, we ensured that the production was finalized in time for this very important week and day. So I take pleasure in officially launching the 3-part video series, Getting Physically Active with Older Persons. The video will be shown now is on strength activities. And other two will be sent through the council in short order, focuses on cardiovascular and endurance activities. And so at this time, I just really want us to enjoy this video, watching it, but most of all, I want us to actually get up and become physically active. It's a tool that you're going to use from now on to help you to remain not only physically active, but mentally well as well, because physical activity has so many wonderful benefits. So please enjoy.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Leanne Steele, and today we're going to be talking about physical activity. So first off, what is physical activity? So physical activity is any movement that allows the body to use up energy. This includes walking, running, and dancing. Let's talk about some benefits of physical activity. Physical activity improves concentration, mental health, posture and balance, body tone, as well as reduces stress. Physical activity maintains stronger heart, bones, and muscles, as well as increases physical health. Also, physical activity reduces the risk of getting non-communicable diseases like hypertension and diabetes. Adults 65 years and older should do at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity 5 days per week. Or you can do 25 minutes of vigorous intensity activity at least 3 days per week. Adults should do at least 30 minutes of physical activity for 5 days per week. However, if you want to lose weight, you should do at least 60 minutes of physical activity 5 days per week. Children should do at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity 5 days per week. If you don't drink enough water, especially when you're doing physical activity, you could become dehydrated. Some signs of dehydration include extreme thirst, feeling extremely tired, you could have a headache, and you might just feel weak. Also, dry lips, mouth, and skin.
Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Listen up. Make sure you know your health status. Go a doctor and get a regular checkup. Chronic disease.
Make sure to wear comfortable clothes that you can move around in freely when doing any physical activity. Females, ensure that you're wearing a comfortable bra that provides proper support. And wear shoes that fit comfortably. So remember to keep hydrated before, during, and after any physical activity.
Not all exercise is suitable for everyone. If you feel faint, dizzy, or any physical discomfort, please stop. Talk with your doctor before you start a physical activity program. Always warm up before your main workout session. Physical activity is the best and cheapest medicine for our bodies. Love your body, treat your body right, 30 minutes a day.
As a retiree, it is very important to stay fit. Every morning, I do 3 sets of 12 of these kettlebell exercises.
Strength activities. These activities are done at a moderate to high intensity. This type of activity can only be maintained for a short period. Some examples are squats.
Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body.
Push-ups.
Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Listen up. Make sure you know your health status. Go a doctor and get a regular checkup. Chronic disease can slowly creep up. We can lower the risk and live up if we just eat right and get moving. Jumping, running, dancing or skipping. Change the children, them lazy habit. Make them play out the door and put down the tablet. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Jamaica, get moving. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. After 2, make me hear you say I love me. 1, 2. I love me. 1, 2. I love me. 1, 2. I love me. After 2, make me hear you say I love me. 1, 2. I love me. 1, 2. I love me. 1, 2. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right.
One leg stand.
Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right.
Arm curls.
Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Listen up. Body, treat your body right. Body, treat your body right.
Overhead press with dumbbells. Stair climbing. Toe lift on the first flight of stairs.
My name is Gurley Nelson. I was born and grown in the parish of St. James, district called Lima. I am 79 years old. I started my running career when I was 66 years old. I am now running the 10Ks, 5Ks, 7Ks, 9Ks, half marathon, which is 13 miles, full marathon, 26 miles. I run for Jamaica in the Caribbean Games. I run in Antigua, Trinidad and Tobago, Cayman Islands, and the Bahamas. I have 99 first place, 23 second, and 2 third. I'm the national champion for the 60 and over. I do not have exercises in the morning. Sometimes I run 4 miles, sometimes 2 miles, sometimes I walk 3 miles or 2 miles or a mile. These activities help me to be physically fit. I am not a patient on any clinic. Sometimes I might have a little muscle contract, but it's when I run the long distance, and then I thaw it out by exercise. To God be the glory. I'm glad for the people of the Ministry of Health who have helped me thus far, telling me the things to do, how to live, how to eat, how to exercise, and it has helped me so much.
Housework. These are some activities that you can do in order to maintain your strength. Washing the dishes, dusting, moving while watching TV, sweeping and wiping the house,
I'm Upton Brown. I'm from Lime Hall. I'm 63 years of age, and I become a part of this exercise club in Lime Hall. I take part in running for the senior citizen each year as a champion runner. And what this really has done for me, it mobilized me, it helped to keep me fit and focused, and it keeps me very vibrant and brilliant.
I'm Princess Margaret, healthy body, and I'm 65, never sick, never go to no doctor. Doctor don't like me, but I'm very healthy. The reason why I cannot eat slow, sleep slow, nor walk slow. And I'm second Shellian. When it come on to running, the amount of trophy that I have, Mom, healthy bodies to move about. Because in the morning I wake like 5 and I go out and do my exercise. Exercise. Show you how to eat healthy. Eat all your fruits, vegetable, so that you can have a healthy body to move about. Love your body, treat your body right.
Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Jamaica get moving. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right.
Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Wow, no, I'm telling you, that was really, really inspirational. No, let me tell you the one that really got me. Talking about Girlie Nelson, the 80-year-old lady. No, trust me, this has given me some hope that I can still keep going, yes? And to help us along, to keep us going, we're going to be getting into a little demonstration here. And Downdre is on hand. I asked him if I can join him, and he said I want everybody to join him. So let's see if I can. Downdre?
All right. Good morning, seniors. Now we're going to stay at home and we're going to get moving, all right? If you're ready, just let me see a stretch right up here. Let's go. Hands up and down, and turn the music up one more time. Let's go. Stretch. Inhale. Exhale down. All right, we're going to walk on the spot. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. Let's step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna lift the hands up and touch our shoulders. 1, 2, 3, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, forward. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's right. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just give me a kick. Let's go. Left, right, and 5, 4, 3. Let's go. Woo! 2, 3. Nice and easy. Kick those legs. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bend those knees. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take your time. Let's go. And nice. 2. Give a little rock, man. Nice it up. Sweet. 4, 5, 8 more. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Touch those knees. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last 8. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And walk. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Walk wide. Walk wide. We touch it. Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stretch those arms. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And rock. Hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Old school. Let's go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And cross. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Walk it out. Right here. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. Let's go. 1, 2. Next side. Next side. Go. 1. Woo. 2 more. And 1. And walk on the spot. Right here. Right here. Let's go. Let's step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hands up. Right here. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're gonna praise. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Walk with it. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, and back. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 2 more. Forward. Then 1, 2. Woo. And back. 1, 2, 3. Walk it up right here. Side to side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 touch. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Give me a clap. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Walk it off right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up. Woo! Nice and easy. Exhale down. 1 more. Let's go. Up. Exhale down. We have to cool down the body, all right? Nice and easy. 1 more. Up. Inhale. Nice. Exhale down. Going all the way down to the toes and reach. And release. Nice and easy. Right up. 1 more time and down. And up. Nice and easy. Right leg forward. And going down with both hands to the toe. And reach. Left leg forward. And reach. Nice. Feeling good? And release. Nice. Legs apart. And stretch. Nice. If you're not able to go all the way down, you can go here, go where you can, all right? And you exhale. Nice and easy. Inhale up. Woo. Down to the side. And reach over. On the tip of your fingers. Next side. Nice center right here, forward. Lean back. Lean forward. Sorry. Nice and easy. Release. Right here. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Yeah. Nice and easy. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Wow. Me work out with him, you know. Me work out with him. Let me tell you something. You hear me out of breath? I was in there in step with him, and I'm sure that you really needed the exercise. I didn't get to go to the gym this morning, so guess what? I used the opportunity to work out right here. Now, let me tell you something about exercise. It is the key to healthy living. It is the key to longevity. It is the key to just kind of just getting it all together. But shared emphasis should be also placed on the nutrition. And so coming up, we're going to be looking at the nutritional management of the older person. But again, I must just big up Claire Reed, because let me tell you something. Whatever activities happens at the National Council for Senior Citizens, she's in there, yes? Her mode of transportation, her wheelchair is an integral part of everything that she does. So I must say, top of the morning to Claire Reed, and also to Princess, Healthy Body Princess, who told us about just getting up every day from 5 o'clock and doing her thing and ensuring that she keeps a healthy body. Trust me, she colorful, can done. But let me tell you something, man. This whole webinar today, I'm sure will have an impact on a lot of the persons who have probably attended some sessions but didn't necessarily get to do so from the confines of their home. You see, when you're at home, you absorb a whole heap of things better, don't it? Yes, man. So we're happy to be here to present this to you. So coming up next, we're going to be looking at the nutritional management of the older person. And with us, we have the training and education nutritionist from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Sharon Dawson, to share with us. Dr. Dawson, morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be here. I am sure after the workout, your physical activity, you should be hungry. So we're going to talk a little about the nutrition. Now, good nutrition is important, and it doesn't matter what your age is. It gives you energy, and it helps to control your weight. It may also help to prevent some of the diseases, common diseases that we see daily, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, certain cancers, and osteoporosis. Now, let's see what's on your plate. I want you to look closely at my plate. Now, Jamaica has what is called our food-based dietary guideline. And for that guideline, we have 6 food groups from which we are supposed to be having a healthy diet. If you notice, the fruits and vegetables to the left has the bigger part of the plate. So fruits, vegetables, we have our staples, we have a very small group called fats and oils, we have the food from animals, and we have our legumes and nuts. Now, under that slide, you will see eight tips, and we're going to go through the tips. So let's first look at eating a variety of fruits daily. So eat fresh fruits that are in season. Usually they are cheaper also when they're in season. Use fruits as snacks and dessert, and prepare fruits in a creative way. The next slide takes us to eating a variety of vegetables daily, likewise. So we're going to be eating, again, fresh vegetables in season, and preferably local vegetables. We can also use our vegetables as snacks. We can prepare them in, again, very creative way. The more creative, the more likely we are to have them. But we need to limit the use of fats, oil, salt, and sugar during this preparation. Now we want to reduce and manage the use of fats and oils. So we're going to be using less oil or margarine in the preparation. We're going to be trimming the fat and removing the skin from all meats before we start preparing them. We're going to be using less fats to make the gravy, and we're going to choose low-fat methods of preparing these meals. So we're going to be doing less frying and more stewing and baking. There are some micronutrients that are of concern in our older persons. And this is a listing, but we'll now quickly look at some of them. So the next slide tells us that usually as we age, our appetite decreases, physical activity slows down, and this can lead to deficiencies in vitamins and minerals in the body. The deficiencies that we see are linked to our chronic diseases, such as our heart disease, cancers, and osteoporosis. So the first mineral, calcium, is for bone density and strength. Calcium is found in dark green leafy vegetables and also in our dairy products. But however, if we are deficient in calcium, we can have decreased bone density, lower mobility, and of course, if you fall, it will be easier for you to break certain bones. Vitamin D works in conjunction with calcium to promote bone health and strength. It is naturally absorbed by the body through the sunlight, but it's also found in certain types of food, such as fish, and fortified foods, such as our orange juice and milk. Magnesium, another mineral, plays a part in many of the body processes, such as controlling the blood sugar and the blood pressure. Magnesium is found in many plants and animal sources, dark green leafy vegetables, again, nuts, and in our fish, some of our fishes. The next slide talks to vitamin C. This plays a role in the absorption of our proteins, as well as the creation of connective tissue, which is vital for wound healing. Vitamin C is one of our antioxidant vitamins, so it helps to fight diseases such as cancer. Our brightly colored fruits and vegetables are the best sources of vitamin C, like our citrus fruits, grapefruit, oranges, tomatoes, and our bell peppers. Vitamin E is another antioxidant vitamin, and the qualities of vitamin E allows it to combat diseases that would cause free radicals. This vitamin also supports our immune system. So we have 3 vitamins that support our immune system, what we call our ACE vitamin. Vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin E. Vitamin E can be found in nuts and seeds and our vegetable oils. Vitamin B6 is a part of the B vitamin complex. These vitamins perform many functions in the body, but primarily they support protein absorption and brain function. Now, the richest sources of B vitamins are fish or organ meat, liver, potatoes, and other starchy vegetables. Let's look at cancer. Now, fruits and vegetables are very important as cancer fighting because they provide cancer fighting nutrients. The brighter the color, the more nutrients that they contain. These foods help to lower your risk also in another way, that they help us to maintain a healthy body weight. As we know, carrying extra pounds increases the risk of multiple cancers. This includes colon cancer, breast cancer, and prostate cancers. We need to aim for at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables daily. That's combined in order to have a healthy diet. No single food can reduce your risk of cancer, but the right combination of foods may help to make a difference. At mealtime, we need to strike a balance. So we are looking at 2/3 plant-based foods in the plate and no more than 1/3 animal protein. Now, portion control is extremely important because we might be eating the right foods, but we might be taking in too much or too little. So we need to also know how to portion control so that we don't overeat or undereat. For instance, a very low-cost breakfast for a healthy adult can be 1 medium orange along with a cup of 8-ounce cornmeal porridge with milk and sugar if so desired. But we have to make sure that we don't use a lot of sugar. The next slide. What is a healthy diet anyway? What is it? Let's see. It's a balanced diet. A healthy diet is a balanced diet. One that does not exclude any of the food groups that we looked at earlier. It provides us with our adequate calories, protein, carbohydrates, fats, and of course, our fruits and vegetables. And most importantly, it is one that tastes good. A balanced dinner, let's just simply look at a very quick, cheap, and easy balanced dinner. It's 1/2 cup of callaloo, preferably from your garden, 1/2 cup of baked beans, 2 ounces of canned mackerel, and 2 fingers of green banana. And with that, we are having 4 ounces of orange juice. good snack ideas, a slice of pudding or normal potato bread pudding, but with less sugar, of course. A glass of milk is also a good snack. And any fruit, veggie sticks, or vegetable juices. So let's see what else is there. Now, very importantly, especially for seniors who have high blood pressure, we need to reduce the intake of salty and processed foods. So we need to prepare foods with less table salt. In other words, we are not adding extra salt to the meal. We need to also make sure that we do not have foods that contain a lot of salt. Now, if you already have high blood pressure, we should aim for half teaspoon or less of added salt each day. If you, however, do not have high blood pressure, 1 teaspoon or less can be added per day. It is important to check the food labels of the products that you are buying so that you can see the salt content and you can make good informed choices. Now, there are simple ways to lower your salt intake, and it means just eating less of some of these foods that are high in salt. That includes things like our cup soup or saltfish that we put with ackee, bacon and cheese, and of course, good old Jamaican stew peas with pigtail and corned beef. There are some foods, natural foods, that have less salt. And you can see the celery stick to the left of your slide. Celery stick gives the food a salty taste, but it does not contain a lot of sodium. So you get the salty flavor, but you're not getting the salt. So things like plain popcorn or grown provisions, unsalted nuts, chips, and seeds, we just need to look for the unsalted brands in the supermarkets or our local store. Of course, we have to manage the sugar. So we are looking at reducing sugar. The American Heart Association recommends that for men, they should have no more than 9 teaspoons of sugar daily, and for women, no more than 6 teaspoons daily. Just to look quickly at one of our drink that has in a lot of sugar, and that's our soda, a soft drink. 1 bottle of soda can have as much as 16 teaspoons, sometimes more, of sugar. We will now move on and see what else. Water. We spoke about water a little earlier, but drinking 8 glasses of water daily is next to physical activity in importance with regard to the health. And as was said earlier, we have to stay hydrated. We need to also understand that our body taking in all the right nutrients but not having enough water, we won't be able to use those nutrients correctly. Now, as we age, our body ability to conserve water decreases. So we don't feel thirsty as often. However, we still need a good amount of water. In order not to get overwhelmed by the quantity, what we can do is put small bottles in the refrigerator or left out and drink it throughout the day, as opposed to using a big container to have our daily water in. Observe your urine. If it's light and transparent, that means you're hydrated. If it is dark or bright yellow and cloudy, that is a sign of dehydration. There's an exception for seniors with kidney or liver diseases, so you need to consult your healthcare provider as to how much water you particularly will need. Foods that boost our immune system, of course, our fruits and vegetables, they provide us with the vitamin A, C, and E, turmeric, garlic, ginger, and our oily fish, to name a few. Healthy eating on a budget, very important. So what we need to do is we need to plan the meals ahead. Stick to your grocery list, cook at home, cook large portions, and put the leftovers safely to be used later on. And don't shop when you're hungry. Buy whole foods, buy store brands, stock up on specials, and use coupons where available. We need to also shop for produce that is in season, it's usually cheaper, and we can package and store in the freezer so that when it's not available, we have it. We also need to be able to use our backyard gardens. Lifestyle choices that we make. We need to make healthy food choices based on our food-based dietary guideline that we saw earlier. Definitely increase our physical activity. We need to know how to cope with stress and avoid substance abuse of alcohol and tobacco. There are health-seeking behaviors such as reading our labels and controlling our portion sizes. Strategies for a healthy lifestyle. There are foods that are thought to save the arteries and prevent heart disease. And this includes, again, our fruits and vegetables, garlics and onions, and what we call our beta-rich foods. That's vitamin A, which is our carrots and pumpkin. And if we are overweight, we need to adopt a healthy weight reduction plan. As much as possible, we need to avoid our trans fats. And these are found in margarine, shortening, and in a partially hydrogenated fat. We can also try and drink at least half of our body weight in ounces of water daily. Drink more water, eat less sugar. So the recommendation is older persons should eat foods rich in magnesium and or vitamins, focus on increasing the intake of high fiber foods, which vegetables and fruits provide. This helps to prevent constipation, have low fat milk and milk products, lower intake of saturated fats, and rather than adding salt, we need to season our food properly with our herbs and our spices. And celery, of course, is one of those herbs, herb that we can use to get the salty taste. So, what should we do? We need to eat what we grow and grow what we eat. As Miss Lou said, turn your hand and make fashion. So, Hippocrates many years ago said, let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. If we don't do this, then the medicine will become our food. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Doc. Doc, I have a little question for you. When you say that, you must limit your salt intake and like the men should have no more than maybe 9 teaspoons, that is in addition to salt that is in regular food? Or would this include the salt that would be in some of the food, like maybe say canned food or so?
No, it's the 9 teaspoons was for the sugar. For the salt, we are saying food naturally has salt.
Okay.
Naturally has sodium. So the limit if you are hypertensive is less than a half teaspoon for the day. That's added.
Oh, that would be added.
And if you are not hypertensive, it's less than or equal to about a teaspoon for the day.
Right. I was mixing up the salt and the sugar.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Yes. Let me tell you, I'm sure that you got some guidelines there. I certainly did. And we will continue. This is a seniors wellness webinar. Different style this year, but of course we're still looking out for seniors. And so we get into our next item, which is COVID-19 prevention for older persons. And this will be presented by the Deputy Chief Nursing Officer at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Mrs. Karen Nelson. And she will be presenting by video. All right. While we wait on that to happen, remember that we're going to be doing the brain teasers, yes? And we have a riddle or two just for you a little later on, because apart from all of what we have to learn today and all that will be shared with you today, of course, we still need to have a little bit of fun, yes? And so we have the brain teasers, and we will be addressing some of the health questions and concerns a little later on as well, because you can well imagine that now under the COVID-19 protocols and all that, there are many, many concerns. I myself have some when I'm on the road, especially in some of the busy areas, and I see seniors just trying to maneuver themselves, and I know that the protocols do also indicate that persons over a particular age group should really stay at home, but sometimes there is that bother as to who will go and get what is necessary. So there are many, many issues to be addressed, and this is a forum where we're going to be inviting some questions and concerns. Before we get into the prevention for older persons under COVID-19, let me just give you a couple of numbers that you can probably call into, yes? A little later on with the brain teasers, that's 876-591-6713 and 876-281-1918. So just take note of those numbers, because then we'll be having a little fun with you a little later on with the riddles and the blanks. So now we're ready for the video.
Hi, welcome to Melinda's Kitchen. Of course, it's summertime and we have mango in season. There's a lot of mangoes around, so we are going to be utilizing our mango, of course. What can we do with our mangoes? We can make mango juice. We can do frozen mango sorbet, but today we're going to be showing you how to make mango smoothie. We have Julie mangoes, we have our Bombay, we have our East Indian, and of course we have our Eden mangoes, which are excellent for smoothie making. How do we make our smoothie? It's simple and easy. Today our smoothie will be consisting of mainly water, a little lime juice, and our mangoes. So we take our mangoes, we peel, then we cut in cubes and freeze. So I'm going to be putting my mangoes in my freezer overnight, and of course I had some that I had already prepared from last night that I'm going to be using today. Our mango smoothies will take anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes for preparation. So while the smoothies are for the bigger ones, the icicles are for the smaller ones, and I'm going to put it in my freezer to sit overnight. And here is my finished product. I know you all will be waiting to see what it looks like.
Wow. No, I would really wrap myself around one of those frozen smoothies. Really, really looking so good and so easy to make. All right, so we continue as we now get into the COVID-19 prevention for older persons. Deputy Chief Nursing Officer from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Mrs. Karen Nelson. Good morning, Mrs. Nelson. Your mic is on.
Good morning, Miss Rosie Murray. Thank you for having me.
So good to be here. Different kind of style, but guess what? We're here and we're delivering, yes?
Very much, very much. So, good morning, everyone. It is indeed a pleasure for me to be here this morning to share in this very important event. our Seniors Wellness Webinar, hosted by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, our National Council for Senior Citizens, and of course, our Ministry of Health and Wellness. And it's really under the theme, Advancing the Health and Well-being of Older Persons Amid COVID-19. So my task this morning is to share with us COVID-19 prevention for older persons. So good morning to everyone that is inside of the production room, or MC, or representatives from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, or representatives from the media, all other persons that are on the platform, wherever you are, across Jamaica, or older persons. How are you out there this morning? Wow, it is indeed a very, very important day for all of us, and most importantly for you. So as we go straight into our presentation, COVID-19 prevention for our older persons. I just want to say that we'll be looking at a few objectives. What is COVID-19, how it is really transmitted, the signs and symptoms, how to protect ourselves, the tips for our caregivers, and some demonstrations will be going on this morning as to how you wear a mask, how do you put it on, how do you take it off, how do you dispose of it. And then we'll also look at how do you sanitize your hands properly. So what is COVID-19? Now this is an infection from coronavirus caused by droplets which attacks the lungs. That is the major organ which it attacks. The virus attaches itself to the respiratory tract, and of course this is what causes the inflammation. It is really caused from person to person. The droplets, when an infected person coughs or sneezes, you may come in contact with the droplets, and then that is where it eventually starts. It is actually similar to how the influenza, the normal flu, is spread. So it takes about 2 to 14 days from the time of the exposure to the time when we should start seeing the development of some symptoms. And this is called the incubation period. Now, the symptoms, there are 3 major symptoms that we look for in COVID. So we have our fever, or dry cough, and of course, our shortness of breath. But there are other symptoms. Now, not because you don't see these other things, you're also to look for other things. So we're looking also for runny nose, a sore throat, aches and pain, and nasal congestion, also to include diarrhea. So how does one protect yourself from this COVID-19? Now, there's currently no vaccine. I want to put that in very early to prevent COVID-19 disease. But the way to prevent the virus is that you are to avoid being exposed to the virus. So the major thing is to prevent ourselves from being exposed. So we need to monitor our health daily. So we want to reduce the risk of COVID-19. So even before COVID-19 came up, you know that there were key things that we were telling our older populations to be paying attention to. The regular things that will keep a body in shape and keep you healthy and active. I think I want to stand for this one. So we want to make sure that you eat healthy, and the regular things, our diet, our fruits and our vegetables, and the proteins and all the major things that you have been informed about. And also to participate in regular daily, not just today and then you don't do tomorrow, but regular daily physical activities. And also to avoid using drugs, example, alcohol, and avoid smoking. And these 4 areas that I labored on earlier on are the key major risk factors for chronic diseases. So not eating right, not exercising regularly, participating in the alcohol and the smoking, these are the key factors. So these would also help you to reduce your risk for chronic diseases. And those who might already have chronic diseases, this will reduce the extent to which the condition will get worsened. So we want you also to practice personal hygiene Because, of course, you want to make sure that you're bathing properly and you're looking after your hygiene so that you are socially acceptable first to yourself and then to also to those that you might come in contact with. And then we want to ensure that you get plenty of sleep because rest is important. My people out there, rest is important because it says that in the hours of the night when you're supposed to be resting, some lovely hormones are released at that time that helps you to sort out your stress levels. It helps you to take better care of yourselves, and it helps you to relax and helps you to get on with your day in a better way. We want you also to place close attention to your mental health, because at this point in time, we would have recognized that even before we had mental issues, right? But even more so with the COVID-19 on hand, we recognize that there are even more greater stressors as it relates to our mental health. And so interventions we have to be putting in place to deal with these mental issues. So what I want you to do this morning is to be alert for these symptoms that we spoke about earlier this morning. Watch for the fever, the cough, and the shortness of breath, and also for the other symptoms of COVID-19. And you are to make sure that your temperature is taken if you have symptoms. Then we're looking, the temperature must be about 100.3. Over that, you would know that something is going wrong, degrees Fahrenheit, or if it is about 38 degrees Celsius. So once you see this happening, you're to alert whom? Your caregivers, your family members, and also a healthcare provider if you are in touch with one. So how to protect yourself now? We're going to be looking at the washing of our hands. So often, we must wash our hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially 20 seconds, especially after you have been in a public place or after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing. And after all of that, you must remember to dry them what? Properly. It is especially important to wash before you are preparing your food, before you are touching your face, after you're using the restroom, after leaving a public place, after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing, after handling your own mask, or even you're not supposed to be handling somebody else's mask, or touching animals or pets. So these are key indication of areas where you must wash your hands or sanitize your hands. Now, washing, if soap and water are not readily available, you can use what is known as an hand sanitizer. And we do have display of hand sanitizer here this morning. And this must contain at least 60% alcohol. Cover all surfaces of your hands and rub them together until they feel dry. I know you have been seeing how some people, I wonder what people do sometimes when they are sanitizing their hands. And so this morning we're going to nip that in the bud because we are going to properly sanitize our hands. We're going to avoid touching our eyes, our nose, our mouth with our unwashed hands. I also want you this morning to avoid touching your eyes, your nose, and your mouth with your contaminated hands. Because remember now, when we touch a surface area, the likelihood of contamination is there of the virus. So if you touch anywhere, you would be introducing that to yourself. When coughing or sneezing, you want to cover your mouth with your nose with a flexed elbow. And you can use your tissue when you're doing that. And you cough in your elbow. I'm doing a little demonstration. Right? Like that. And then you would have discarded if you use your tissue, you would have coughed in it and you would have disposed of it in the container provided. Remember to throw away the tissue immediately. So you cannot have the tissue on your table. You cannot have the tissue in your bed. You cannot have your tissue on wherever you are moving around in your space. Immediately, you are to throw it away, throw it in the bin, and then you are to move to wash your hands or sanitize your hands. This way, you can protect others as well as yourself by covering when you cough and you sneeze. The next element of observation is to avoid close contact. So we have to keep our physical distance from others. Now, our national and local authorities are put in place some confinement measures, and it is important, my brothers and sisters out there, that we respect them. Taking exercise outside is good, but if we don't have the ability to do that, inside activities is what we are encouraging at this point in time. So you must do your inside exercise. You can be stretching, you can be moving in your chair, moving in your bed, because we really don't want to have further problems with you down the line. When you do get out, though, do your exercises as much as you can, but avoid the crowded places and maintain at least a 1 meter distance, or the 6 feet, which is the 2 arms length from others. So social distancing at this point in time can assist us. It's an important feature in preventing COVID-19. You see that lovely triangle there on the right-hand side? If we are availing ourselves and really adhering to these 3 major principles, we can reduce the risk and prevent COVID-19. The first one is to sanitize our hands, wearing of a mask at all times, and the social distancing or physical distance. So whilst we are at home, we're not able to go out, we expect persons will be coming in to visit us. So we must avoid unnecessary visits at this time. If it's not really urgent or crucial, we should really not allow so much visiting at home at this point in time. But should in case your visitors have to come, we should ask them to check regular for themselves if they have symptoms, and to ensure that they are symptom-free before coming into your area. And they are also not, at this point in time, must be in conformance with the guidelines and principles set by the health institutions as it relates to washing of your hands before entering your home, maintaining the physical distancing or social distancing, and always wearing a mask. And at this time, you also would be adhering to all of these principles. So there's also the aspect of the surface areas around where we live. So cleaning and disinfecting frequently the touch surfaces every day is really important. This includes cleaning our tables or doorknobs that we touch all the time, the light switches, the countertops, the handles, the desk, the phones, the keyboards to the computers, the toilets that we are using, the taps, and of course the sinks. So the healthcare providers or the providers of care for these persons need to have this key information as how they would be taking care of the environment. If the surfaces are dirty, we use detergent or soap and water prior to the disinfection. So how to wear our face mask now is a question and a cue that a lot of persons always want to know what's the proper way. So wearing a face mask or a covering properly can maximize the protection from COVID-19. So don't put on the face mask around your neck. That's a no-no. Don't put it on your forehead. Don't let it hang from one ear. Don't touch your face covering while you have it on. And if you do, the key thing is to do what? Wash your hands or sanitize your hands immediately. So these are some of the do's and don'ts. And you see that one underneath the chin, it's up onto the forehead, and the person is touching the mask or the face covering. So what we're asking is for you to adhere to what I just said a while ago, making sure that you are wearing it just over the nose and the mouth in that prescribed area. No touching, but if you do, sanitize immediately. So for our caregivers, this is what I want you to do. You must be aware of the symptoms of the COVID-19. Because if you don't know, you will not be able to care for those whom you have to be looking out if they have these symptoms. And for yourself too, if you have these symptoms. You must at all times, because you are the first responders for these persons, you must know how to take care of yourself. Because it is a favorite slogan that says, if I can't take care of me, I can't take care of you, right? And so the essence of that is you must know what to do before you can do it to someone else. Stay informed about the happenings within the environment in relation to the COVID-19. There will be increasing information from the Ministry of Health and other entities going forward as to how we are to manage ourselves and so on. Have a standby emergency plan. So you can't be caring for somebody and you don't have a plan about what should I do if this happens? Where do I do? Who do I call? How do I move? How do I transport? What do I do? So you must have all of those. Ensure that these persons that we're taking care of you or whom you're taking care of, they have their appointments locked. You know when they're to go back to their doctors. You know the type of medications they're on and when they're to get them. So you don't wait until the medication finish. Then you say, Lord, I have to go to the pharmacy. And then there might be something and you don't get the medication. Remember, we're safeguarding the health of the people whom we are caring for. And making sure that we encourage them to do the physical sessions and we facilitate it. And observe and maintain, importantly, the social distancing. We want you also to wear your mask and make sure that others are wearing them. Do not place your mask on anyone who has a trouble breathing or if they become unconscious. So while you're looking after your older persons at home, if they become unconscious, don't remove the mask, all right? And try to get help urgently. Implore them to wash their hands often, and you do the same thing. And advise them to cover while they're coughing and sneezing, using their tissue, using the elbow if that be, and discard of the tissue urgently. And ask them or advise them to avoid touching their nose, their mouth, and their eyes with their unwashed hands. And clean and disinfect frequently the touch surfaces. Now, so we are on to our demonstration.
Hand sanitizer is a convenient alternative to hand washing if there's no soap and water available, and as long as your hands aren't visibly dirty. Apply sanitizer, rub your hands palm to palm, and wash the backs of both hands and in between your fingers. Then palm to palm with fingers interlocked. Clasp your hands together and rub, and then clean around the thumbs too. Rub your fingertips in the palms of your hands and finish off with the wrists.
So that's a basic way of how we sanitize our hands. That's a basic way of how we sanitize our hands. And so we are going to be moving on to how we properly put on and take off our face mask. So before we do the procedure of putting on a face mask, the basic thing to do at all times is to sanitize your hands. Remember the procedure we mentioned earlier? And we sanitize. Mike, somebody has to hold it for me. Thank you so much, Miss Rosie. So the steps for our sanitizing, and we're using the sanitizer this morning. we're using the sanitizer this morning. And so before we actually put on the face mask, we would have done the procedure of the hand sanitization, how we did it earlier on. The thumbs, working through the tips of the fingers, and then we would have been through with our sanitization. Then the next step would have been now down to the face mask. So we would have taken up the mask, making sure that all, I would like the video at this point in time, right? So we are now going to move on to how to put on the mask because we would have sanitized our hands already. So the first, to unfold the mask, the pleats, making sure that it's down, right? And so that would have been step 1. Step 2 would be to place the mask, the colored section, the side on the outside, the white part is the inside, all right? And now on to step 3. So we're holding your mask, gripping it nice and properly away from us, because we don't want it to be contaminated. And so we would have now been moving on to step 3. So we are putting the mask on our face, placing the loops around the ears, making sure that the loops are attached properly to the ear. See what can happen? For demonstration, making sure, right? So the next step now is to ensure that the nasal, right up at the nose, there's a little thing that you squeeze, the metal surface that you squeeze. You make sure that is fitting quite snugly to your nose. And you make sure that the bottom of the mask is covering your chin. Right? And that would have been properly putting on a mask. So the next step now is how do we remove the mask? So we're on to, before you remove the mask, the next procedure is sanitizing again. So we do the same step. We go over again. We do again. Sanitize. And then we move on again now to remove the mask. So we are taking off the mask. We do not touch the surface, the front part of the mask any at all. Our focus is now you holding the straps or the loops to take it off. And we're moving in one big motion. Together, both hands will be removing the straps at one time. And we're moving away from the face. So this is it. It's out, away from the face. And then we would have had our bin beside us. So we would have dropped the mask into the bin. I'm just thinking this is the bin. All right? So my bin is right here. I don't want to drop it on the floor, but. All right, so you would have placed it in the bin. So that would have been finished. So after you have placed it in the bin now, the next step is to sanitize your hands what? Again. So we do the same procedure. Squeeze. Lather our hands with the sun nicely. Pay attention to the back of the hands and so on. Rubbing again in a friction motion at the front. Interlocking between. Working with the thumbs, rubbing inside the palm of the hands, and then working it down to the elbows. And then that would have been the complete action of how you put on a mask, remove a mask, and dispose of a mask. Thank you so much, Miss Rosie. So we are down to our summary. So in moving forward, I want us all to embrace COVID-19 as a new normal, evaluate ourselves and the readiness to respond to these challenges. And of course, the major big thing, maintaining social distancing, embracing more universal precautions and the infection prevention and control principles, the hygiene, the hand hygiene, and paying close attention to our surroundings. Making sure that we're abiding by the cleaning schedule, using the right agents, And of course, adhering to the right procedures, wearing of our mask at all times, and use of technology to gather information about what is happening around us so we can stay informed about the COVID-19 development. And of course, take care of our physical and mental health. So at this point in time, I'm going to be taking you through something about staying inside, because the essence is that we need to stay inside for most of us as it relates to the COVID-19. So this is one way you can protect yourself. So wherever you are across Jamaica at this point in time, if you can get up out of your chairs wherever you are, please do. Out of your beds, wherever you are, get up now. This is your time. This is your day. Move around and enjoy this little music that you're about to be taken. It will take you on a journey that you have never, ever been before. Stay inside. Move your bodies wherever you are. You know I'm a vibesy person, you know. And I know you know this music. It's from the, could be the 60s, 70s. But I want you to hear the words. It's about Corona. I'll give you some moves too.
Work your body. Work your body. Well, with those moves, you better stay inside. Here we go. Here we go. Woo! Here we go now. Here we go now. Yes. Wow. Thank you so much, Mrs. Karen Nelson. I know you're not done, you know. I know you don't finish.
So your health is the most valuable thing that...
Microphone.
So your health is the most valuable thing that you possess. Wouldn't you like to protect it the best way you can? Yes. The message is protect yourself from COVID-19. Thank you.
Oh, what a present. Una clapper, man. Clapper. Wherever you are, in Jamaica or across the globe. That was amazing. Dance and all. I mean, I thought we were going to get a lecture. But guess what? Miss Karen, I have something to show you. You see, I have a mask here that you can actually drink through because you take off the top layer so. And then you slip a straw so. And you can drink and then you simply hold on to this so. And you cover back so.
You see?
Oh.
Innovations.
Thank you. Sip it. That's what we call it.
It's a sipping mask.
All right. Thank you so much. Oh, this was good. This really, really was good. All right. So we're 6 feet apart now, so make I move my mask so you can hear me a little bit better. You can put on back yours. All right. So guess what? After all of that, I know you did get up and had a move or two, but let me just tease your brain just a little bit before we get into something that will definitely need you to engage, which is looking at your mental health. So I just have one brain teaser. Let me give you the numbers again. 876-591-6713, 876-281-1918. Now, those are the numbers to call. So here this one now. Riddle. Round the road, the rugged rascal runs. Get it again? Round the road, the rugged rascal runs. How many R's are in that? Hey. Call in, and guess what? We will give you the winners and the parish that they're from. Round the road, the rugged rascal runs. How many R's are in that? All right? I'm waiting for you to give your call. First person to call will win themselves a prize. Let me just move on to fill in the blanks as well. So this one goes dot, 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 dot is dot, dot, dot best dot, 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 dot. Yes? One more time. Dot, 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 dot is dot, dot, dot best dot, 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 dot. See me all do it with rhythm for you. Yes? There you go. So give us a call, 876-591-6713, 876-281-1918, and you just might be a lucky winner. So, riddle again. Round the road the rugged rascal runs. How many R's are in that? And I gave you all of the dots, right? It's just enough dot is dot, 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 best dot, 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 dot. Yes? All right. So while you're doing that, we're going to be moving into our next item. And let me tell you something. This is something that you need to pay attention to because so many persons are saying that for the past, how many months is it now? Since March? They have been, it's been what, seven months, yeah? Listen, just the ability to keep your tail quiet, not go out and be entertained, basically now have to move around like you almost can't people because you have to be dealing with the social distancing. I mean, just to deal with just having to remember to always have a mask present. All of this can wear down on your mental health. And so we have to protect it. And the Director of Child Adolescent Mental Health Month at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Judith Leiber, will guide us through protecting your mental health.
Hi, Rosie. I would like to share my screen.
Hi, Dr. Leiber. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. And hello to everyone, all my senior citizens. We're going to press right into it now.
Share her screen so we can all get right into what is so important. Here you go.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for having me. And I can't dance like how Nurse Nelson dances, but I try my very best to do as well as she did. Okay, so I have a very good friend who is a senior citizen. And I said to her, how did you cope in this time of COVID? We're still in COVID, but when it first hit. And she told me 3 things helped her: prayer, exercise, and she had a fierce determination that she was going to keep as well as possible, as healthy as possible during this time. And I thought, oh, that is fantastic. I don't know if you remember when we had the hurricane and we had this thing about, can we cross it? We cannot cross it. Well, we have to cross it. And all we've been doing today is trying to help you to cross this thing that we call crosses COVID. Okay. Nurse Nelson alluded to this, that you have to think of your own. These are for caregivers. You have to think of your own mental health first and try to be in as good a place as you can be before you can really help somebody else. The pandemic was unexpected. A lot of us were unprepared. Even the ministry, I've been here more than 10 years. We have prepared for pandemics before, and they never came. But guess what? This one came, and it stopped us in our tracks for at least 3 months. But life has to go on. Life has to go on, and that's why we're doing all of these activities to make sure that life goes on. Remember now, it's not the event that determines whether something is stressful to you or not, but your experience or your response to the event. So it's your mindset. How are you seeing this event? And you have to try to frame it in a positive way so you can react positively. This is what we call the R's of resilience. I put 7 there, but they're growing more and more every day. And I want to give you some tools for your coping skills box. The R's that I would want to recommend, and they've gone beyond 7 now, it's about 9: reflection, responsibility, relaxation, retooling and rebooting, refueling and recreation, relationships and resources. A mouthful. What is the first R? First R has to do with reflection. We've all had a variety of emotions that have overtaken us, and some overtake us from minute to minute, from hour to hour. We have to be aware of this and be patient with ourselves and with those that we are caring for. This is a stressful time, and we're going to have this up and down of emotions. So we have to learn how to manage our emotions. Here's Carol Burnett having a real meltdown, and realize that these emotions are not permanent and that they will go away. And we just try to ride the storm until we come back to some kind of quiet place. And here is reflection. Most of us in Jamaica believe in God or in some supreme being. And as I said, my friend told me, my mentor told me that prayer got her through. And I'm just recommending that to you as well, in the terms of reflection, to help us in this time to maintain our mental health. Okay, now part of our emotions are fears of contamination. Nurse Nelson gave us a lovely demonstration of how to sanitize and wash our hands. But we don't want to be doing it excessively. We don't want to be excessive. We don't want to become obsessional, washing our hands every minute, that our hands begin to look like this chicken foot, okay? And remember, everything doesn't have corona on it. We're gonna do our best to sanitize around us and to keep infection away, but we have to do it within limits and not become over vigilant. In terms of corona, we have to share our fears. A lot of us have fears about the virus. Am I going to eventually get it? Is anybody close to me going to get it? Is anybody going to die? All of these things are our fears. We can share them with other people, and the news or the information sometimes can help us to realize that a lot of people do recover, and so it's not a death sentence. Be careful of how much news you are absorbing, and sometimes you have to take a break from talking about COVID. We have to just take a break and put our mind on something else. Okay, next thing, relaxation. What relaxes you? Gardening, wonderful, because you get to go outside in the sun, in nature, and that's wonderful. And reading a book, painting, crossword puzzles, watching TV, meditation, prayer, practicing mindfulness, listening to music, dancing. Creative things are wonderful to make you vent your feelings, particularly when you have anxious and nervous feelings. And this is a lovely exercise. When you're feeling yourself tense and anxiety coming on, you do the 4x4 breathing. 4 seconds, you inhale. 4 seconds, you hold it. 4 seconds, you exhale. You do nothing for 4 seconds. And you can do this as often as you like throughout the day to relax you. I do it very frequently, and I can tell you it works. And we have to take responsibility for ourselves. We have to remain positive. We have to remain grateful. Sometimes doing a gratitude journal is so very important and can just change our mood in a few minutes by writing down all the things that you're grateful for that day. In terms of taking responsibility, we have to go to retooling. My mentor said, and I understand what she was saying, now that we are staying home and physically distancing from others, we are asked to do Zoom meetings like I'm doing now, and to use the Wi-Fi and laptop. We're asked to bank online. Sometimes when I hear about the banking online, I really think of our senior citizens and the challenges that they are facing. I asked her, who taught you to do Zoom meetings? Because what she did was that the Bible study group that used to meet, she now found out how to do Zoom meetings. So meet on via Zoom. Well, she said she had to turn to younger people, like maybe a daughter of a friend, or maybe a nephew or a son or a child, to help you, okay? And some of us fear losing our independence because we haven't perfected these tools. You know that they say that the younger folks, this thing seems to come naturally, but it doesn't come naturally to us. And sometimes the younger people are not as patient with us as we'd like. So we have all these challenges that we have to face, but fierce determination will take us through. And if you retool and you become very comfortable or just exploring the internet, you have a lot of videos that you can watch to help to lighten your mood. For instance, this one called The Psych Show. Okay, we have to reboot. So here it is now, we have to build a new routine. Our normal as we saw it is changed. Look at these two people, they're having a wedding and they're kissing through the mask. And that's really a way of showing that how our life has changed and we really have to build a new routine. The yoga class you used to go to has been canceled. The book club that you used to go to can no longer meet. So what are you going to do? You have to try to get creative. As I said, you try to become familiar with the internet and Zoom, using Zoom, or reading those books, using your phone more, FaceTime and all of that, okay? So yes, we have lost the old normal, but we have to reboot and get a new normal and a new routine that will steady us. Refueling and recreation, we've done a lot of that today in terms of how we eat and also exercise and doing other things. I just want to say here that sometimes during these times we are tempted to smoke more cigarettes and to maybe drink more alcohol. That is not a good thing because can create more problems. So try to avoid using substances to improve our mental condition, because that will lead to other problems. That's why I'm giving you all these other tools that you can use. And remember, relationships are very important. Although we talk about social distancing, what we really want is social connectedness, whether by phone or the internet, but physical distancing. Physical distancing, but social connectedness. We all need our friends to be mentally healthy, and we all need to keep in touch. That's very, very important. And I know sometimes, well, the younger people will stay away because they may fear that they may be carrying the virus, but at least we want to keep in touch with them via telephone or Skype, because we all need our friends. Now, sometimes it's just too much. It's just too much. You're asking too much from me, this gentleman says, and we have to seek outside help. So if you feel it's getting too much, whether as a caregiver or as an older person, we in the Ministry of Health and Wellness have started a helpline, mental health and suicide prevention helpline, 888-NEW-LIFE or 888-639-5433. And this helpline is available 24/7. We have trained counselors who are on hand to speak to anybody who feels that they're in emotional distress, they're in some mental crisis or some emotional crisis, and they need someone to talk to. And finally, this is what the game we are playing. As I said, my friend said that fierce determination took her through. Corona came, hit us on our bottoms, but we've had to get up and finish the race. And we're going to continue and finish this race in as healthy as a way as possible and come through this pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doc. And it is true. I do hope that you will be guided by all of the advice that we just got from the Director of Child Adolescent Mental Health at the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Judith Leiber. All right, so let me tell you now, before we get into the health questions and concerns, let me just tell you that we have a winner, and that person is Eugenie Wilson out of Kingston, 64-year-old, who answered correctly. This was for the brain teaser, right? The riddle, rather. Round the road, the rugged rascal runs. How many R's are in that? Actually, there are no R's in the word that. Got you. But somebody won it, right? So we're still looking for an answer. No, I'm going to give you a little hint, right? So it goes, is ... best ... All right? You can't miss with that one. I give you a hint. Okay, so we're going to be moving right into some of the important questions and concerns that we've been asked to address, especially from older persons, senior citizens. And we're going to be asking these questions of Dr. Melody Ennis, Director of Family Health at the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Do we have Dr. Ennis? Yes. And believe me, some of them might come across to some persons as just being, oh, you should know that, but trust me, there are persons out there who do need answers. This COVID-19 thing is not easy to maneuver for regular young people, much less when you get into, certain years and you probably have some issues with just getting persons to do some tasks for you, and you're used to just going out and doing stuff for yourself, and all of a sudden you now have to keep in a lot more often and rely on other persons to get some tasks done. And there's so many other questions. So do we have Dr. Ennis online with us? Nice. Hi. Good. Is it still morning? Morning, Dr. Ennis. How are you?
It is morning, and it's a great morning,
Isn't it? Welcome. Okay, so we do have some questions that we'd like you to address, and the very first one is, how does COVID-19 affect older persons?
In a simple word, bad.
Bad, not true.
It affects them badly.
Yes.
And therein lies the challenge. It's not that older persons are more susceptible. It is just that when they do contract the illness, the severity is so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have comorbid conditions, the virus tends to worsen those conditions. And as we were told earlier this morning, the immune system in more mature persons are not as strong, it's not as robust as in younger persons. So the older person does not fight diseases as well as younger persons. So the effects of the virus is much more severe. It is our older persons that go to the hospitals. It's our older persons that require ventilatory support. It is our older persons, unfortunately, that die.
Okay, Doc. Now, this is not one of the written questions, but there's some persons who wonder about the underlying conditions. When some of these terms are used, it's not necessarily understood by each and every one. When we speak of that, what are you speaking of?
Okay, so when we're speaking about underlying conditions, we're simply talking about any disease, any illness that you might have. So, are you an asthmatic? You've been asthmatic from birth, so you have this comorbid condition. Do you have diabetes? Do you have hypertension? Are you suffering from elevated cholesterol? Do you have a heart problem? Those are what we consider underlying conditions, and there are many more. Do you have an autoimmune condition? Are you taking any prescribed medication on a long-term basis for anything?
Okay.
Those could be considered underlying conditions that make you more prone to the
And
severe
susceptible.
illness of COVID.
Okay. So, what signs do older persons need to look out for during COVID 19?
The older person might develop a cough, shortness of breath, fever, similar symptoms to any other person. However, the older person might not develop those classical symptoms, the sore throat, the dry cough. The older person might simply become confused. The older person might get forgetful. The older person might just slump into depression. And then the thing that bothers us the most, the low feelings. They just get a low feeling. There's no energy, apathy, any sort of change in what is normal should be a red flag for the caregiver and indeed for the older person. So we know the classical things to look out for: the dry cough, the shortness of breath, the sore throat, the absence of taste, the difficulty breathing. But remember, if you become confused, if you just have no energy,
Feel
you
off.
can't move around, you just feel off, then you want to wonder, is something going on?
And then that leads me to the next question, which is how do they get in touch with medical professionals? Because many older persons are scared to venture out to access medical care. What should they do?
And as they have been instructed, is that they really should stay in. And if they need to visit their health facility, then they should call and instructions will be given. So it's important to have at your fingertips, which is can be placed anywhere where it is easily accessible, written in large print. So you have the numbers of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, but more importantly, at a local level, your nearest health center, your nearest health facility. Having those numbers are critical because once you get ill, you will want to call so that proper advice can be given before you venture out. You don't want to compromise yourself and others. If you go out, it can do more harm than good.
Okay, because we do know that some persons have complained, some older persons, that they've just not been able to make contact with the Ministry of Health and Wellness. And they're wondering, how can the ministry be reached? Where can these numbers be accessed?
Well, the numbers are what we have been using, the 888-633-5683, several of them, the 876-542-5998. But as I said, it's important to also know your local numbers for your local health department and health center. Additionally, if you have a younger person, you need to also be able to access the Jam COVID website and not only have the younger person access it for you, but try and learn. It's something. It is now the time to learn something new, something different. We all shy away from the net, but it's time now to learn something new because you're there at home. If you have the access, of course we can do it.
It's not just time, it's critical. It's critical now because sometimes that's the only means of communicating. All right, so now when visiting health centers, what measures must be taken by older persons to help keep them safe? And what role do the health centers play in the fight against COVID-19?
So let's start with what you should do. You most definitely will have an appointment. You'll be told that you're to come in. Now, you have to plan this activity more than you would normally do. There are certain things you must have in place. You must have your mask.
That's right.
You must have your hand sanitizer. You must now think carefully of how you're going to get to the health center. Remember, public transport is an area of, is a possible area of exposure.
Right.
Can you not use the public transport? And if you can, use a taxi or have someone take you. If you're using a taxi, remember, it's one less than the normal number of persons who would be in the taxi. And if you're going early or you have a taxi that you normally take, maybe you want to ask them if they can just drop you to the health center
Right.
alone.
Yes.
You understand? Because you want to limit your exposure. At 65 and over, you are most vulnerable. So you want to limit your exposure. You must have your mask on, you must hand sanitize, and don't feel funny if you are wiping down an area because you are safeguarding yourself. You're doing what is right. When you get to the health center will prioritize. I have been prioritizing older persons. You need to follow the instructions carefully as to where to sit, ensuring that we are maintaining our distance. You will get your check, you'll get your prescription, get that filled, and you on your way home, it's the same precautions that you want to take. Ensure that you're socially distant, uh, or physically distant is the more appropriate term. And when you get home, this is now important. Maybe if it is possible, you might want to cool off outside before you go in.
And drop
Because when you
everything
go,
outside.
exactly, because when you go in, we want you to take a shower. So you have to cool off little. So you can sit outside if it's open air, and you can cool off because we want you to take off. We want you to leave the shoes outside that you did wear outside. Is outside things that's not for the inside. I want you to take off your clothes. You're going back to olden days when you could never sit on your bed in the
That's
clothes that you
right.
wear outside. Never. So you want
Yes.
to shed the outer clothing, and you want to take a bath, take a shower, and put on some nice fresh because you're leaving whatever germs outside, you're
Outside.
leaving it. And remember, you're going to wash this clothes now that you have taken off. You're going to wash it in a little separate thing. Wash it because it was outside.
Yes.
You don't want to, just in case.
No
So
mix
those
up.
are some of the simple things
Yes.
that you can do. And remember, guess what? Somebody might have accompanied you. They don't necessarily live with you, but they accompanied you. When they come into your house now, you want them to take off them shoes outside. You want them to alcohol off, sanitize off their hands because they might help you to carry in your bag
That's right.
or what. And remember to sanitize, or just wipe down the bag as well because you might have rested down somewhere. It was in the taxi. You want to make sure that those little things are taken care of.
Yes, yes. Okay, you mentioned the medication, and this is the question of older persons who are struggling to keep up with medications due to access. How important is maintaining prescriptions as directed by doctors, especially during this time?
Wow, the importance of taking our medications cannot be overemphasized at this point. Remember what the medications are there for. They're actually to help us remain normal.
Healthy. Yes.
They are keeping us strong and healthy. It is it is these medications that are allowing us to have optimal health. Now, if we're not taking them, then our diabetes is going to be out of control, cholesterol is going to go through the roof, blood pressure is skyrocketing, and this now makes us even more vulnerable to the severity of any illness, not only COVID, of any illness that might occur. Also, if we're not taking our medication, we will run the risk of needing to be admitted to a facility. We
Yes.
might, if our diabetes is uncontrolled and we go into a coma, we are so confused, we're gonna have to get admitted into a facility. At this time, we want to stay away from those areas because,
That's right.
again, we can potentially be exposing ourselves. So, if you
Unnecessarily.
are doing everything we were told this morning to eat right, to get proper rest, to exercise, and now we're saying take your medication, that's another weapon in our battalion to keep us safe and prevent us from getting into hospital.
Okay. Well, we did address the pre-existing conditions earlier. So now, how can older persons access COVID-19 tests? That's one. Are the tests free? Can a test be done even if there are no signs and symptoms? So it's a threefold question.
Wow. You're trying to bowl me over.
No, man, no, man. Just ensuring that you just run smoothly through.
All right. So if we start with the no cost, then the Ministry of Health and Wellness offers COVID testing free of cost.
Okay.
Where we are now with the transmission of COVID-19, persons who are asymptomatic, they have no signs and symptoms, are not routinely tested at this time if you have no symptoms. So that's question 2. Where you can get the test done? If you have developed signs and symptoms, or you believe you have signs and symptoms, you are advised to speak to your healthcare provider, back to the health center calling, back to the Ministry of Health calling. If not, to the website, the Jam COVID website. The Jam COVID website offers a tool where you put in your symptoms, what's happening to you, looks at your exposure, looks at your risk. And if you are high risk, moderately risk, it gives you instructions if you are to do the test and where you are to do the test.
Okay. All right. Now, there's currently a scam that targets older persons, believe it or not. Calls are made falsely advising older persons that they are COVID positive. What a wicked people. And they must pay a fee to get their results and assistance. How can older persons avoid being scammed? And what are the correct avenues for testing? And how are results delivered?
The first thing is no, 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 no. Anybody call you and telling you that you're COVID positive, how them know that? You didn't do any tests with them. That is a no. So just dismiss them quickly. That is not going to happen. So no, for that, you know the channels as described earlier about how you can get your COVID test. And once your COVID test is done, your healthcare provider will make contact with you with your results. Your results come more commonly if you are deemed to be positive, because if you are positive, then clearly you will need action will need to be taken. Yeah. So it can't be anybody just telling you that this is so. It will be your healthcare provider who will advise you accordingly about being in quarantine or being in isolation at home or in a government facility.
Okay. Wow, Doc. Yes, it really was a mouthful, but I'm sure that you have managed to address many of the concerns as expressed by some of our older citizens. So I thank you so much. Is there anything you'd like to add?
I want to say that we can get through this.
Yes.
We need to do what we know are correct. The whole business of keeping safe, that is an understatement. But in these times of COVID, we must remember to wear our masks, to wash our hands, to stay physically distant, and to be cautious of persons coming into our homes. These are our very own, the grandchildren, the children, the neighbors. They are out on the road, out on the street. We need to ensure that they sanitize and practice the good hygiene that we have been talking about so that we stay safe. But we can get through this. Yes, we can.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Ennis. You keep doing what you're doing, and you have yourself a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. And to the senior citizens, enjoy the rest of the day.
All right. That's Dr. Melody Ennis. And guess what? We have a second winner. So the dots worked. So we must congratulate Sylvia Walker from Spanish Town, and she answered correctly. Laughter is the best medicine. I know it's just my chuckle that make you win, come from me here. You know what we put in. All right, so congratulations to Sylvia Walker, and these prizes are all courtesy of the National Council for Senior Citizens. So big up all yourselves at the National Council for Senior Citizens. All right, so believe it or not, 2 hours have run off. We're running a little bit late, but that's fine. We're just going to be getting into the social buzz right now with a program organizer of health at the National Council for Senior Citizens, and I speak of no other than Miss Nastasia Nunes.
Hello, good afternoon. No, good afternoon, Rosie. It's a pleasure being here with you.
Yes, always a pleasure, Nastasia.
All right, so the National Council for Senior Citizens is a government agency is the government agency with responsibility for the oversight and implementation of the national policy for senior citizens. And the council also engages in programs, activities to support and promote the inclusion, well-being, and rights of older persons. Now, this week, the National Council for Senior Citizens and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, we are celebrating Senior Citizens Week under the theme Advancing the Health and Well-being of Older Persons Amid COVID-19. We want to have senior citizens know and to be rest assured that the council, despite what's happening with COVID-19, we are still working to ensure that all the services that are available, they are still able to access. Services which include the access of their social security benefits through the National Insurance Scheme, as well as other benefits and programs from the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disability, as well as we at the National Council for Senior Citizens continue to care for older persons through the provision of whether it is care packages or home help services through our home help program for shut-ins, as well as the provision of food packages where necessary, and also necessary referrals to seek to assist, I should say, with any other social benefits that they will need to have or to get based on what's going on at this time. Also, I want persons to know that we have been working very closely with the Ministry of Health and SDC through their Rona lines, and so we encourage senior citizens to continue calling in. And if you're unable to get through to the Rona lines, we also encourage you to call the council through our toll-free lines, which is 888 seniors. So let me repeat that again. So it's 888 seniors, which is also 888-736-4677. 888-736-4677. At present, we have been getting persons calling in to engage us with the various concerns, and I want to also take this opportunity to thank all, not only senior citizens who have been calling in, but concerned neighbors and relatives who have called into the council and through the Rona lines to offer up the necessary concerns that they have in regards to older persons. We support this initiative by our fellow Jamaicans, and we ask you to continue not only calling in, but looking out for older persons in your community and reaching out to them. It is imperative at this time that we as Jamaica not only look out for our families during this crisis, but also to ensure that we engage older persons as much as we can, because that, as we have heard through our presentations today, is also important in functioning well. It is my pleasure today, as we close off, Rosie, to also extend the vote of thanks. And I just want persons to know on behalf of the Council and the Ministry of Labor and Social Security, as well as the Ministry of Health and Wellness, we are happy that we were able to come together to promote and to also create such a wonderful seniors wellness webinar. I'm sure, Rosie, today you had a wonderful time with all the presentations that we did.
Yes, the presentations were awesome, and I'm sure that not just persons here on the ground in Jamaica, but you know, we have to bless up all of the persons in the diaspora as well, because here's an opportunity for so many of our seniors who have migrated, who now live in Netherlands, as I call it, to really connect with what's happening here in Jamaica. So it's so good that you were able to join us. It's not all the time that you're able to link up with some of the activities that happen during our Senior Citizens Month and you know, especially this particular week. So it's all good.
I also want to extend our vote of thanks, especially to the Ministry of Health and Wellness team and all those persons who worked together to ensure that this webinar was such a success as it was. Special thanks especially to our senior citizen who was able to join us, Miss Adeline Smith, who of course is the senior public speaking competition winner for 2020. Thank you for joining us today, Miss Smith. We also want to continue to thank the persons who came on board and presented today. Dr. Simone Spence, who spoke to physical activity, Dr. Sharon Dawson, who spoke to nutrition, Mrs. Karen Nelson, Deputy Chief Nursing Officer, who spoke to and also gave us a wonderful dance. I'm sure we're not going to forget. If I leave away with anything today, that will definitely be the dance by Mrs. Nelson. We have to go engage her by the council when things get back to normal to come perform for the seniors. As well as also Dr. Judith Lever, Director of Child Adolescent Mental Health, who shared with us the importance of mental health, mind over matter, very important. Dr. Melody Ennis, Director of Family Health, and also, of course, to you, Rosie, for being such an able host for our program today. Also, the other persons who are also working with the Ministry of Health team and who helped to put the program together, as well as also all the staff at the National Council for Senior Citizens and the Ministry of Labour Social Security, who through this time continue to ensure that they come in every day to ensure that seniors, especially at a time like this, are able to still access the essential services that they need, extending that also to other persons, volunteers, and also family members. We continue to work as a team, not in silo, and so it's because of that we are able to come on such a collaborative venture today. And so we thank all those who joined. We also definitely cannot leave today without thanking all those who joined in on our webinar. I'm sure, just as Ms. Adeline Smith prayed for today, that today you would have not only enjoyed our program, but you would have taken away the message that we want to send. And of course, we continue to engage in our activities for Senior Citizens Week. We end the week on Saturday, October 3rd, and tomorrow we'll be at the National Insurance Scheme, Rupon Road. We're inviting persons to come into the head office. The council will be there. It's going to be a fun day. And as we close off, again, reminding person, advancing the health and well-being of older persons amid COVID-19. Thank you for joining us today.
And just to add, our able technical team from Phase 3 learned so much. Must say thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you. It was good being here. Please stay safe. Please keep the masks on. Please continue social distancing. Wash the hands. Please take care of our senior citizens. For all of the younger persons, please, please. And just remember that, hey, COVID-19 is going to be with us for a while. So let's just learn to live the new normal. My name is Rosie Moore. It was my pleasure being the host here at the Seniors Wellness Webinar, Advancing the Health and Well-being of Older Persons Amid COVID-19 in the year 2020.